right, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to Tracklandia. It's a show about racing and the people who do it best. I'm Jeff Merrill.
And I'm Jeff Merrill.
No, we're not doing that this time.
Oh, okay.
All right, let's try that again.
Right.
I'm Jeff Merrill.
And I'm not.
All right, that's my thing, and we're not doing that this time, okay?
It's annoying, isn't it?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Point taken.
Yeah. And I'm Andrew Weeding, and this is Tracklandia! Let's go!
So last time we met up, we messed up a few things, and in the interest of doing a show with full transparency, we want to apologize for them. So just so you guys know, Patrick Reeves and Jordan Welling tied for the win in the Teddy Twilight 10K in 30:58 and not 30:50. We are so sorry.
Sorry. Also, the president of the Portland Track Group, our president, Michael Bergman, is spelt with 2 N's, not 1, which I messed that up.
We are so
sorry. So sorry.
Also, Eleanor Fulton beat Chris Derrick, Elliott Heath, and Scotty Olberding by 1 move in Scrabble, and not handily. We are so sorry.
As much to many disappointed fans, the IAAF will not be pairing with Dairy Queen. There will not be Jimmy Fallon pole vaulting on any sort of straws. So we're so sorry
about that.
For mentioning that.
And also, so when we were talking to Eleanor about spelling bees, she misspelled American, and I missed a question about deep diving into what it means to be an American, which would have been really enjoyable for everybody. And we are so sorry about that.
So sorry. Also, we're also a little sorry about this.
There it is.
Yeah, there we go. A little sorry. We got a lot of good Gazellenors that were submitted after our last episode, and you know, we're so sorry.
We're so sorry about that. But to everybody who sent in a Gazellenor, thank you very much. These are delightful. And we've got a great show tonight. You're a great audience. Carrie Dimoff is here. Craig Engels is here, and we're not sorry about that.
Not sorry at all. Let's go. Come on.
How have you been, Andrew?
No, I've been. You know, actually, I was kind of pissed, actually. I reached out to a friend I hadn't talked to in months, and I was like expecting this long, drawn-out conversation. I asked, "Hey, man, how you doing?" He's like, "Oh, I'm doing pretty well, thanks, man." That was it. That's it. This is simple. It was good. That's it. Walked away kind of pissed after months of not talking.
So how are you?
Oh, I'm fine, thanks.
All right. In local news, the brewery Fatheads on Northwest 13th and the Pearl is being replaced by a brewery with a much fancier name, Von Ebert. Another reminder that the Euros are continuing their takeover of Portland without much resistance.
The city's actually embracing this wholeheartedly. The Timbers Army chants are expected to have a subtle French accent starting about 2020.
Yeah. And Portland City Council will vote on adding Swedish to the current 1. Pick a random high school meet and have the top 3 finishers of each event represent the USA in Tokyo.
Sidney McLaughlin did that.
The United States is the land of opportunity. Give the kids a chance.
It's the American dream, you know. America's got talent, am I right?
Yeah. All the USATF has to do is bring a medal stand and Howie Mandel to do this on the sidelines.
I'd watch that meet.
Yeah. Now you guys are all going to go watch America's Got Talent after this.
Second, we know who won the first 3, who got the first 3 spots in the last trials. In all fairness and equal opportunity, why not just go 4, 5, 6?
Yeah, go 4, 5, 6 down the list. That's a good idea. Right. I like that one. Third, randomly select 10 track meets and throw them into a hat.
Oh, but what if we took 5 of those out?
Then throw those 5 meets into one of those bingo twirling machines and pull 3 out.
Take those 3, put little bits of ham on them, release a dog. Takes one of those, throw that one out, down to 2.
Bring in an octopus, and then whichever one he picks is going to be the location for the next 8 Olympic cycles.
Hello, Sheboygan, 2052.
See you all there. In other news, a free-range parenting law in Utah has passed. The law, according to a New York Times article, will allow parents to let their kids play unsupervised in a park or walk home from school alone.
This will, of course, allow Olympic hopefuls training for 2032 the freedom to build their aerobic system on training loops larger than 40 feet in their backyard.
Is it even altitude training if they get that far down?
That's pretty deep.
I guess not. Speaking of young stars, high school sophomore Cruz Culpepper, son of former distance running greats Alan and Shane Culpepper, won the mile at Arcadia last week. He closed in 56 seconds to run 4:13.
Can you imagine what it would have been if he ran 56 for all 4 laps?
It's 3:46.
Oh. American record holder Alan Webb.
He's run 3:46.
He's done that.
The Commonwealth Games are taking place, formerly the Empire Games, formerly the Empire Strikes Back Games, formerly the Roger Bannister Strikes Back Games.
Because that's where Roger Bannister beat John Landy to take back the world record in the mile, running 3:58.
But back to this year's competition. The games are being held in Gold Coast, Australia, and the Aussies really know how to host a meet. The turnouts in the stands are massive, but in fairness, kangaroo pouches.
Mohamed of the Bowerman Track Club came second in the 5,000 meters.
Castor Semenya won the gold in the 1500 and a new South African record, 4:71.
And Aisha Pratt-Lear took the gold for Team Jamaica in the women's 3,000 steeplechase. When was the last time a Jamaican distance runner won anything?
I don't know the answer to that.
And that's why it's so impressive.
Yeah. A couple 10-mile races took place on opposite coasts, Sacktown and Cherry Blossom. The man with the rock star name, Sid Bond Jr., won the men's race, and Jane Kabee won the women's race in Sacramento.
And in Washington, D.C., Jamal Yimmer won the men's race in 46:17, and Boozy?
I think it's Boozy, yeah.
Boozy Dariba continued her winning ways on the women's side in 53:45. Oh, and shout out to Chris Derrick of the Bowerman Track Club, who's sitting right there, who came fifth, our top American.
Yeah, Chris.
Thanks for coming out, Chris. Appreciate it.
You're the man. Stanford Invite results. Nigel Amos ripped a big opener in 1:44.5.
Peter Callahan took the dub in the 1500 run 3:38, looking silky smooth down that home stretch.
And Gwen Jorgensen, the gold medalist in the Olympic triathlon, retired last year to embark on her 3-year journey to win the gold medal in the Olympic marathon. Much like Andrew, who retired to look incredibly good looking in comparison, sitting next to a no-name co-host on a niche track comedy show based in Portland, Oregon. But back to the track. The Stanford 10K was billed as a matchup between Bowerman Track Club pro Jorgensen and multiple-time national champ Carissa Schweitzer from Missouri, who both did very well, by the way, with Jorgensen clocking 31:55 and a new personal best, and Schweitzer clocking the number 9 collegiate 10K ever in her 10K debut. But little attention was paid to the second-place finisher, who led in the closing laps and pushed Jorgensen to the finish. She was an Olympic trials finalist in the steeplechase, third in the 2017 U.S. Marathon Championships in 2:30, and most recently second in the Stanford 10K in a 48-second PR of 31:57. Please give a warm welcome to Carrie Dimoff. Please take a seat. Yeah, that's yours. Do what you want with it.
Great.
Here, if you want a color too, you got this. So how are you, Carrie?
Good, yeah. I'm excited and kind of surprised to be invited to be here, but it's awesome. I like it.
Now I'm going to try to explain something, and I want you to participate in this conversation too, so I'm going to try to be brief.
Okay.
But you're an inspiration to many people that know you as a mother to 2, a wife to 1, which is enough, I think. You work a full-time job at Nike, or you do some really cool things with shoes, and you're also a super competitive runner, which is sweet. But now you're an inspiration to many people that don't know you. I mean, to work so hard and and know that you're capable of doing something along with just a few other people is amazing. And then to actually do that is even more incredible. What does that feel like?
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I would just say, like, I've been running a long time, right? And I've pretty much been working full-time the whole time that I've been taking running seriously. I started working at Nike right after college, so the whole work full-time, run full-time is just how I'm used to it.
Yeah.
But I think because of that, it's been a bit of a slow build-up, like maybe 10, 12 years in the making, like getting to where I am now. So it's just taken a lot of patience and moving through the events. I ran the steeplechase in college and then tried 5K, 10K, and now finally I've moved up to marathon. So, I mean, I guess in a way it doesn't feel that different from what I'm used to, but it's really, really exciting to be at the level where I am now. Where
Absolutely.
I can be right behind Gwen and running with Carissa and kind of feel like I belong, which it's super strange, but I'm glad to hear that other people are inspired by it. I think it's pretty cool.
Totally. Yeah, I mean, it's what every runner does this sport for, I think. When you go out and you run out and do your regular training runs and all that stuff, I feel like runners are like Carl Spackler and Caddyshack, and they're out there hitting the flowers with their golf club and dreaming of grand moments and stuff. So how do you temper the excitement of knowing that you're capable of something great and then actually doing it?
Yeah, well, obviously distance running is like a whole lot of like grinding and just working on stuff. So it's not like I go to the track every day like I'm ready for a big PR. It's like I'm going to manage this workout and do it like incrementally like that. I'm going to hit this mileage and I'm going to try to move forward. I mean, I think everyone goes into a new race build-up or a race itself with the excitement that there's potentially something there. I think what I've learned over the years is that if you put in the work on the training and you really pay attention to the details and like do all the workouts to your best ability, once you get to race day, like you almost don't have to worry. Like the mileage and the running and the workouts and the fitness should take care of itself. And sometimes we can get in our own heads and think too much about like the tactic or the strategy, but if you just have confidence in your build-up and believe in yourself, then I think that actually goes a long way. It's like 99% done when you get to the starting line.
Yeah, it's kind of like a football player's mentality, I guess. Like my old middle school football coach told me, because I was cut after that, he said, you pick your head up, you get hit in the mouth. So you just keep it down and keep grinding.
I'll think about that.
Yeah, that's how I was brought up. Not really. Had very loving parents, just the football coaches. So you're one of the best people I know at compartmentalizing things. Like you have a home life, you have your work life, you have your running life. Rank them. No, you don't have to rank them. We're not going to make you rank your children here either, but how do you balance them?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing is that, like, I think people joke, or they laugh when I say this, but like running is ultimately a hobby, right? It's not like what I get up to do every morning. It's probably my third priority. So family obviously comes first, and then work.
You did rank them.
Yeah, I guess I ended up, but not the children.
Yeah, no, we're not going to do that.
But I think like when I'm doing each thing, I just really focus on that thing. So when I'm home with the kids, like we're working on somebody's homework or we're having fun together. And when I'm at work, I'm in that meeting and I'm really trying to move my projects forward. And then when I'm out at the track, like I tend to focus on like just getting it done today because I don't usually have time to come back and try again if it doesn't work out. I do find it like starts to blend together and isn't always so clear cut. Like some things that I'm working on influence my running, like my family ends up becoming a support system for running, and we like took our spring break when the kids are off of school to go to my race.
Yeah.
I think it actually works best when it all supports itself and it's not like competing so much as enhancing.
Right. Well, we can skip my next question on how do you intertwine them then, but yeah, your husband.
I drag the kids on spring break. Is how we intertwine.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, your husband John Dimoff is one of the best running minds around, functionally and specifically. So you've got that support system at home too. I'm sure he's able to. But we randomly pulled a few audience members with questions for you, so we're going to start with that. Okay. Here it goes. What would you tell a younger Carrie if you could give her advice? Signed, young Carrie Dimoff.
Did I ask myself that question?
Yeah, you're out there somewhere.
Okay.
You're not sitting next to your kids, though. That would be really weird.
If I had to give myself, my younger self advice from now, I guess I'd say, like, be brave with your goals. I think sometimes I've been either a little too conservative, thinking like, well, I'm not a pro runner, so like I don't belong running with them, or I never really gave myself a chance to like try to go all in with running because I always had other things going on. Which I'm not unhappy with where I am now. I think that's been a great way for me to go, but I think I would encourage my younger self to be a little braver and maybe like stick my neck out there and like set a harder goal and just see what would have happened. Yeah.
Cool. There you go, young Carrie.
Yeah.
Put that under your hat. And this is the next one. So what is your mindset like heading into a race where you know you're going to be competing against pros? Are you more focused on just running your own race, or do you feel like you want to prove yourself against them? Signed, professional runner.
Oh, wait, am I giving something away to the competition then, if this is a professional runner asking?
You might be. Yeah, I think they're looking for an edge here.
I think the answer to this question maybe has evolved over time, but I think right now, like I said, I just try to have confidence in the training that I've done, and if it suggests that I can run a certain time that lines up with what the pros might be running, it's better to view myself as belonging with them and not backing away or shying away. So as I go into the track championships in Des Moines this summer, I think I'll try to mix it up as much as I can. I think we'll all have earned our spot on the line, and we'll all just be seeing who's the best. Like, doesn't matter whether you're sponsored or not sponsored.
Nice. Tearing down walls.
That's right.
Yeah. So that's a thing, like I know before you went into this 10K, you had just run a great marathon, 2:30 down in Sacramento. And the 10K was a little unplanned. It was unexpected. But now that you've done that, are you thinking about going back to the track or focusing on the marathon still? Or
Yeah, the marathon is still the long-term goal. Like, I want to be as prepared as I can at the marathon trials in 2020. So this is just part of the bigger plan of like build some speed and some confidence at shorter distance, build fitness that I maybe didn't have if I only did a marathon build-up. So I will do the U.S. Championships 10K this summer, but other than that, maybe one other track race or something. Probably get back on the roads this fall and do another marathon, and then, I don't know, we'll see where it goes from there. But definitely thinking like 2020 marathon trials.
Okay, nice. And, well, before you go, this last December down in Sacramento, there was a press conference, pre-race press conference before the race, and they revealed the top 10 bib numbers, of which you weren't one of them, but you proved everybody wrong, getting top 3 there. But after this press conference, we were talking, and I asked you what question you wanted to be asked if you were up there. And you said, what's your favorite dinosaur? So.
Yeah, no, I don't, okay, yeah.
Yeah, what's your favorite dinosaur, Carrie?
Favorite dinosaur? Maybe pterodactyl, because it could fly? That seems pretty cool.
Yeah, flying's legit. All right, well, yeah, thank you very much for being on the show, and best of luck in everything going forward at the track trials, and then further down the road at the marathon trials, of course. Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Everybody give it up for Carrie Dimoff. Cool. Cool. Here at Tracklandia, we like to keep a heart rate monitor on the pulse of the city. If something is getting people excited, we want to know about it, we want to inspect it, we want to research it, and then we want to let you know about it. That's why we're kicking off our new segment, Track Andrew in the Field. So, there he is, handsome man. In this first installment, Andrew dives into one of the most beloved parts of Portland culture.
As I finished up a 13-mile run, I felt that a beer was a fine reward for such an effort. Then I wondered, are there similarities between running and brewing? Is there a similarity in the cultures of brewing beer and running miles? Well, I had to know. So I made haste, filled with fresh energy. I set off on an So I set off on an adventure. My first stop was Great Notion Brewing, where I sat down with one of the founders, Paul Ryder, to talk about their Beer of the Year.
Yeah, I'll take a sip. So that's Juice Jr. So that one was the Oregon #1 Beer of the Year by Willamette Week last year.
Holy crap, that is really good. That's really good.
I couldn't help but wonder what their Monaco of beers was.
So this beer goes for 100 or 150 online for a can of ours.
You're serious?
Yeah.
Jackpot, baby. After establishing that Great Notion was indeed a very accomplished brewery, I decided to dig into the running side of things.
I'm dying to do a Hood to Coast someday, dude.
Oh,
yeah.
I've done beer mile.
A beer mile? No, I'd love to though. Let's do it.
You don't even want to know, you just want to do it.
Yeah, it sounds awesome.
Oh, no.
Dude, we should start a race though, Hood to Crushed instead of Hood to Coast.
Right?
A brew run, run, a brew run, run.
Ooh. So it's kind of like doing these, 10Ks in Portland where you got to pound beers the whole time. Although there's only a couple.
Now it was time for the most important question.
Right, yeah.
Now, the most question important.
Let's try that again.
Now the most important question. What does brewing culture have to do with the running culture?
Everyone's got different goals too. Like a brewer's goal might be to, make the best Pilsner or the best hazy IPA. And a runner, you might be just starting out trying to crush your 5K in 25 minutes or whatever, versus someone that's going for a marathon. Either way, it's what's inside. It's that fire, dude.
I could not agree more. And with that, I think it was time to move on.
Yeah.
Beers, recommend Great Notion to everyone out there, especially the Portland guys. Come on out, try it. Paul, thanks a lot.
Yeah, man. Thanks so much, Andrew. Appreciate it, guys. Tracklandia.
Paul definitely understood the connection between running and brewing. Next up, I needed to talk to someone who's been involved with craft brewing for ages. So I ventured to the oldest craft brewery in Portland, Bridgeport Brewing, to meet with brewmaster himself, Jeff Edgerton, hoping maybe he could be my Bill Bowerman of brewing.
I've been here in 19 years, so 1998 is when I started, yeah.
Perfect. So Jeff has seen the changes in brewing over time.
Kind of one of those things where the large brewers all thought that craft brewers were like guys that rode skateboards and just made beer in their garages, and the consistency.
Now this guy was talking my language. I remember hearing stories of joggers getting pulled over by cops just because what they were doing wasn't normal.
Yeah, we were credited with making really the first IPA on the West Coast as far as that goes, and that was in 1995. It was really the first beer that came out. We thought it was going to be a niche beer. We thought it was
niche beer, my ass. The IPA became the A standard of Oregon beers.
Do you do much running?
I used to do some running. It's been a long time, so you can tell this is not a running body, so it hasn't been a running body for a long time, but I used to do some
Now time for the big question. How does a master connect running to brewing beer?
The individuality of recipes and things like that, it's a very unique kind of a thing. It's art to some extent, and I look at that in the same way with running, and it's
art.
If I can make that connection, I don't know.
That sounds great. Like Steve Prefontaine, one of the most notorious, famous runners in history.
Right.
He was known for saying that a race is like a work of art.
Yeah.
So he goes out there and creates art. So in the same way,
it is.
Brewing your beer is like a work of art.
Right. So everybody has their own individual styles, and that's kind of how brewing, I think, connects, really. So.
After a few more pints at Bridgeport, I thought it was time to get along to my third brewery. I had heard that my next stop had connections to the running community. So what better way to connect running and brewing beer than going to a brewery that runs? That was not a brewery. So with questions in mind, I met up with Stormbreaker Brewing founder Dan Malik.
All right, more questions. Hi, Dan, more commonly known as Danny Boy.
Sure, yeah.
On your website, it's Danny Boy.
Among other things.
Yeah, sure. I have to know, how did the brewery get started?
So, my partner Rob and I, we always talked about opening a brewery, like years in the making. He was a brewer at Amnesia, which used to be here. And one day, the owner of Amnesia just was like, hey, anybody want to buy this place? So he calls me immediately. It's like, Dan, you got to get down here. We have to talk. And
as Dan continued to tell me about how him and his business partner bought out Amnesia and created Stormbreaker, it made me think, opportunities can come out of almost nowhere, in both brewing beer and running.
You're not the brewer, correct?
Correct.
But do you know much about the brewing process?
Sure. So, I mean, I know enough about the brewing process of why I'm not the brewer. I am a super impatient person. I homebrewed for years. And the reason why I homebrewed is because I wanted to serve beer that I made at my home bar. And I like having people over and seeing them enjoy it. And that's kind of why I wanted to have this place. So, like, I like the whole...
Fascinating. Dan's reasons for wanting to create a brewery were not based around that of the product. Although award-winning beers they do have. For Dan, it was about bringing people together. One might say Stormbreaker Brewing is the long run of breweries. After finishing a couple more drinks and then trying to retie my tie, I think I was starting to show signs that I was ready to go home.
What's your favorite state of all 53 states?
With my newfound respect for the art of brewing, I decided it was time to go home. In the end, whether you're brewing beers or running miles, it's a matter of passion. It's a matter of passion, it's art, and it's a community. It makes sense that I embrace my love for running by running home, and that's exactly what I tried. No, turn it off. No.
All right, so how you feeling, big guy? That was a big day.
That was quite a big morning. Yeah.
So yeah, glad to have you back here.
Yeah, no, I learned a lot.
Yeah, some astute observations in that piece there. So what did you learn? What were the key takeaways?
Well, there was actually, so patience, brewing and patience go together very well. Anything good doesn't come quick. So got that one out of the first brewery, first flight of ales. Patience, yeah, it comes naturally.
I'm sure you were taking your time through those.
Yeah.
As we witnessed.
Yeah. Then learning from the people before us, like Jeff at the second brewery, Bridgeport. He was like, he created and found and made all these beers and found out what wasn't working. And then the younger guns figured out what worked from his mistakes. Like, you learn a lot from the ones before us.
Yeah, like you were saying, he's like the Bill Bowerman of brewing.
Yeah.
So Bridgeport kicked off the craft brewery experience in Portland and then allowed everybody else to come in and put their own flair on things.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and they've been going since '84, so.
It's a long time.
It's a long time to be brewing.
Yeah.
And then also, so the community. Stormbreaker Brewery does a fun run every Wednesday afternoon, I think 6:30, and they always come together and they do a lot of fun running events. And so talking to them and how they also connect with other breweries and it's all within its community.
So they've got these events that they put on to bring people in and they actually tie running and brewing together then.
Yeah, that's they go together. It's together.
Wow, that seems like exactly what you were looking for.
Right, yeah. Well, I mean, I guess in running like brewing, you do too much of either and you get sick.
That's true too. Yeah. Both of them can make you sick. Always do them in moderation and take your rest days seriously.
Exactly.
All right. Well, we look forward to your next installment of Track Andrew in the Field, and thank you for all your hard work out there.
Thank you. I'm taking suggestions on what people want to know. So thinking maybe food carts next time.
Oh, man.
Come back here a few pounds heavier.
That's going to be a wild time.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Awesome.
A big part of what we hope to accomplish on this show is to help you understand each athlete's persona. When many people watch races, they see a bunch of skinny people lined up who look very much the same. Our goal is to dimensionalize races and show you that each athlete is unique, like a craft beer or voodoo donut, driving towards the finish line with all their talents, baggage, hops, and sprinkles. So without further ado, you know him from such hits as the 2016 Olympic trials, where he placed 4th in the 800 and 5th in the 1500. Most recently, 7th in the world in the indoor 1500 for the USA and Nike Oregon project. The pride of Pfafftown, North Carolina, Oxford, Mississippi, and now Portland, Oregon. Please give a warm welcome to Mr. Craig Engels. How are you, sir? It's good to see you. Take a seat. Let's see what we have here. Let's see. Craigie, Craig. There he is, Craig Engels. All right, Craig, how are you?
Pretty good, Jeff. Thanks for having me.
Oh, the pleasure is all ours. Yeah, what have you been up to?
We took a couple weeks off. I took a road trip to Las Vegas with my girlfriend. Stopped by Crater Lake on the way, and it was like a really good time, but then I had to get back to training and got into it really quick.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, so Crater Lake to Vegas, which was, I mean, those are two very different destinations. Which one do you prefer?
I don't know. On like one end, you have like the most beautiful nature in the world.
Yeah, Vegas.
Vegas, yeah. and then the most unnatural thing in the world, Crater Lake.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that deep of a hole in the ground can't be natural.
Those skyscrapers in Vegas, those are beautiful.
Yeah, those are beautiful things. Yeah, you can never hit rock bottom in Vegas, but you can in Crater Lake.
No,
that's for sure.
You can hit rock bottom in Vegas.
Oh yeah, it didn't happen though. Am I right? Not with a fur coat like that. Yeah.
Came out on top.
Yeah, tell us about this. What's this all about?
We won enough money in Vegas to buy a $50 jacket from Goodwill. Pretty crazy, yeah.
That's on the top shelf of Goodwill there.
Yeah, actually it wasn't Goodwill, it was a garage sale.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I first moved to Portland, I was lonely and the weather was gloom, so I went to a garage sale and found it there. So.
As you do.
Yeah. I don't know where else you'd find this jacket.
No, that's a nice come up though. That's what they call the thrift shop finds, right?
More.
Yeah. Yeah, good come up. All right, let's get down into some Engels history here. So you grew up in Pfafftown, North Carolina. Am I saying that right? There's a
No.
Oh. Oh, you've got like 3 F's in there and a P, so I don't know.
It's Pfafftown?
Pfafftown.
Yeah. Close.
Nice, so that first F is silent, P. Poff.
Poff, yeah.
Okay, cool. What was life like in Pfafftown, North Carolina for young Craig?
Yeah, not much went on there. We had a post office. That was cool.
You have a pen pal?
No pen pals.
So it was useless.
Yeah. Yeah, thankfully we were close to a city, like 30 minutes away, so.
Oh, good.
Yeah, but Pfafftown was pretty boring.
All right. Well, in Pfafftown, you got into track, of course.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Actually, pretty crazy story. I played soccer growing up my whole life, 14 years, I think, and my sophomore year, I got kicked off the soccer team for pulling someone's pants down. So.
I mean, did you see that Ronaldo goal the other day? Oh, it was big time. And then he like took his shirt off and he pulled his pants down a little bit too. But I don't think they're kicking him off the team.
I did not. Yeah, it was pretty bad. But then I was like, oh, I can't go home and tell my parents that I got kicked off. So I'll just join the track team so that I have something to do after school.
Oh, so this was like, no, Mom and Dad, I wanted to join the track team.
Yeah.
Nice. And there you can wear pretty short shorts too, so that's not a big deal with the pants situation. Nice. Well, yeah, I mean, when we were talking over some great fried chicken the other night, you said that track was not your first love. Well, of course, it was soccer, but you had a few other things that you would do as well. One of them was golf, I think, and another one was being a NASCAR driver.
Ooh, that'd be nice.
So yeah, what about those two sports, or do we call them sports? Is that?
That's why I like them.
Oh yeah, okay.
Earlier you asked Carrie like what she would tell her younger self, and what I would tell my younger self is not to run. It's too hard.
Yeah.
Literally chose one of the hardest.
I think we could trace this all the way back to your pants situation here. So look what you roped yourself into.
And I'm like, NASCAR would be so much easier.
Yeah. You don't even have to wear pants in there, I don't think.
Like, oh, I have to go drive 500 miles today? Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, just listen to a podcast or something like that.
Golf, like someone's carrying my bag for me. Like, I don't know, it's nice.
Easy. You just have to.
I chose the wrong sport.
Well, I'd say you didn't. You're doing pretty well. 7th in the world indoors this last March. It was in March, right? Yeah. Okay. It's April now. We're rolling right along. This year's crazy. God, what a time it's been, right? So let's see. in any of those sports, what would your dream scenario be, and how would you celebrate it here? Put yourself in there.
Jeez. Yeah, I think we talked about this one, and I think it would have to be NASCAR, like winning NASCAR, and then just having like all those champagne bottles and everyone cheering for you after you just drove 500 miles and didn't do anything for 3 hours.
You're just so happy to see a person getting out of the car, right? It's like getting to grandma's house for the holidays. Everybody comes running out.
Yeah.
Yeah, Craig, we're so happy to see you.
Grandma.
That's what my Thanksgiving was like.
But now that I run, I would love to see that scenario at the end of a race. Like everyone's popping bottles everywhere.
Yeah.
Or putting a green jacket on me, you know, or cheetah jacket. Or
Yeah, you don't want a green jacket.
No.
You're doing pretty well here. And you said that you're kind of vying for maybe a Busch Light sponsorship. Is that
I'm
the
not
dream?
Exclusive. I would go with Budweiser, Busch Light, Busch Ice, you know, any of the guys, yeah.
Yeah, none of the
Natty Light, yeah.
The craft beers though, like you go for the
no, I think
tried
that's
and true.
dignified for me.
Not your style.
No.
Nice. All right. Well, you're pretty new to the area here in Portland.
Yeah.
Before you were here, you were at Ole Miss, and you got a smile on your face when I said Ole Miss. Are you missing it?
Yeah, I do miss it. I miss Ole Miss.
Yeah. Oxford, good to you?
Yeah, surprisingly, I mean, I went in with no expectations coming from North Carolina, and I just like pictured farmland, but it was actually beautiful, and it was a cool college town. Like, I loved it.
Nice. So what brought you to Oxford initially?
My high school coach, who's the reason I'm still running today, he is best friends with the college coach there. So by term, we just like switched phone numbers, and I was about to quit running at my old college. Transferred in and worked out from there. So it's a pretty crazy story, but
nice. Yeah, and then how did you get up to speed there? Because you were a great high school miler too. 4:03, is that right? In high school?
Yeah, good stats.
Yeah, I got it up here. It's all hidden. Yeah. Yeah, 4:03 in the mile. All right, you've got a tattoo too that relates to your.
No, don't bring it up.
Come on, man. You showed it to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where is that thing?
It's right here.
What? Yeah. So you got a tattoo on your finger. What? Well, first, what does it say?
The tattoo says "yeet," which no one here will understand.
Well, that's why we want to
Which
talk
I don't
about
really
it.
Understand anyway, but.
Yeah. Well, let's do our best to dig into this then. Like, what is this tattoo all about?
We used to say "yeet" when we were really excited at Ole Miss. Like me and the coach, like if we had a good workout, we'd be like, "yeet." Like, you know.
Hey, let her rip a little bit.
Right, like that.
Yeah.
Like,
well, no, I mean like give it a good one.
okay, yeah.
We could do it together.
Okay.
Like.
Yeah, we'd be like "yeet."
Yeet. Am I doing it right?
Yeah, you got it.
Yeet.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And from there, it just turned, spiraled down south. And then I was actually at Wake Forest University in my hometown, running on campus, and one of the freshmen there was like, "Hey, man, you want a tattoo?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And
Wait, a freshman?
I didn't know him. Like, we just met that day. I was like, "Yeah, I'll take a tattoo."
So did he do the tattoo, or did you go to a parlor and get it done?
He did it.
Oh, really?
Stick and poke. If you could see it up close.
Oh, man.
T is a little off.
Let me see that thing.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks good. You're fine.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was, the night before was his first tattoo ever. He gave it to himself on his thigh.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I was like, okay, yeah, that'll do. Gave him that too, and
all right, yeah. I mean, you do it first. I guess he's tried and true after that, so you had nothing to worry about.
yeah.
So you're a very trusting individual then.
I guess so, yeah.
Nice. That's one of your great qualities. Another one, this is a good segue, I guess. Another one of your great qualities is your ability to relax, which is something that I've honed in on watching you. And you're a bit different from a lot of runners out there who are pretty neurotic about their warm up, and they have all these like routines that they do and that kind of thing, and you just kind of go out there and do your thing. Like, where does that come from?
Yeah, I actually think it like scares runners a little bit when people are that relaxed in the call room. Like most people have like all their rituals. They have to be like warmed up by this time and all these things, and like then they see a guy coming in laughing and they're like, what did I miss? Why am I so nervous? And then then it gets in their head, and it's a little bit of my plan.
So this is calculated relaxation.
A little bit, yeah. And then also it's just like, I don't know, I like to have fun with it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go in there and just treat it as if it's life or death. We're there to have fun, so.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's a really good outlook.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw you watch at UW actually this past January, I believe, January or February, when you ran a 3K. And yeah, everybody's on the line, doing their pre-race routines and stuff. They're all shaking out. And you're there on the sideline, or right at the end of the line next to the wall, and you're just laughing, and you've got your hand on the fire alarm. And you're looking at the starter, and he's shaking his head like, don't do it. And you're like, I'm going to do it. So you're totally relaxed out there.
Yeah, I don't think I wanted to do that 3K, so.
Okay.
This is my way out.
And then, but you ended up winning that 3K.
Yeah, me and the guy got either second or third. Well, the guy that got second and third were staying with me that whole week leading up, so we had a few side bets, which drove me to win that one. But
okay,
yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that was a pretty great performance. I was happy to be there to see you.
Yeah, thanks for coming out.
Hey, yeah, always. I'll be there for you. Yeah, I like your response to what kind of car. We send these questions out to Craig beforehand to figure out a little about him. But yeah, I like your response to what kind of car would you be and how would that reflect your racing. And your response was an RV. And why is that?
Always ready to go.
Always packed up and ready to go, huh? That was a fantastic response. Okay, so coming out, obviously, you were packed up and ready to go after college, and you came out here and you joined the Oregon Project. How did that transpire, and how are you working into that new routine?
Yeah, I had no clue what I wanted to do. I finished NCAAs and got third, and I figured there was no way I was going to get a contract because I didn't know how anything worked. The NCAA does that to you where they'll make sure you don't know what's happening post-collegiate, You can't talk to you can't do anything, it's a violation.
Yeah.
So I had no clue, and right after that I was everything came so quickly. They were like, hey, you need to sign with an agent, Nike talking to you, Brooks is looking at you, all these different companies, and then all of a sudden I got the phone call, it's hey, Oregon Project wants you. And that's when I was okay. They have every single technology, they have everything available, all of massage therapist, lifting, everything. So I was well, I'll give it a try. I've heard all the rumors and everything. Everyone has. I'm not gonna sit there and pretend there's no rumors, but
okay.
So I was oh, I want to see them for myself, and since I've joined, I kind of wish that the rumors were true because I'm struggling training. I need something. The training's hard.
This goes all the way back to your pants situation that got you into this.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is your own doing. You should never have pulled your pants down at soccer practice, and you wouldn't be here. Yeah, you'd be driving a car somewhere right now.
Yeah. But I could safely say that there's nothing going on there because they won't even let me take beet juice before races just because someone may see me drinking it and be oh, no.
Well, I heard that can get pretty messy, too.
I just need something.
Yeah. Nice. Well, what do you do in your downtime then to recuperate from that hard work?
Geez, I don't even know. When people ask me where my time goes, I just don't know. I'll go home and well, I bought a 1971 El Camino that I thought I would work on every day and make it sweet.
Yeah.
But as soon as it started raining in Portland, I just did not want to be on the ground working on it.
You get a little muddy.
I don't know what I do. I think I just sit inside, and sometimes we go on trips in Portland.
Well, that's good. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. I'm excited for training camps, though. Those are really fun.
Yeah, you're going down to
Flagstaff on Sunday.
Yeah, that's the name of that place. Cool. You pumped for that?
Going up, actually.
Oh, going up, right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. Get to train with Eric Jenkins, Matthew Sinchowitz, so that'll be the best training partners possible.
2 heavy hitters.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to find something, man.
Yeah.
As long as I've known you, you've been a bargain shopper. So
Know each other for a week.
right, yeah, but yeah, but what? So it feels like it's been a while.
Yeah. We got deep.
Yeah, we did. We got to know each other. So what's your most prized bargain at the moment? Like, what are you really excited about that you just came up on?
I actually, when I first moved to Portland, I was out at another garage sale and I found this painting. It was like an oil painting, and the little signature said like Crispy or something. It was the artist's name. So I Googled it and it was like from 1792. I'm like, oh, I gotta buy this. It was like $90 or something. It's a massive painting.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, this would be worth $1 million, and you know, like those shows.
In like 1,000 years.
Yeah. I got home and like had just completely misread. It was like 1992. I was like, dang it, I just wasted $90. I'm pretty sure it's like a replication as well.
So that's not your best bargain right now, yeah?
The worst.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah. I don't know. Just I like buying cars and then selling them.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, we'll get to that in a little bit. Yeah. So is there a certain thrill that comes with finding a bargain for you?
Yeah.
Yeah. What is it? Does it compare to anything?
Like winning a race. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It's crazy.
When you're like, that cheese is like half off over there. Like that's like what race would that equate to, do you think?
Olympic trials.
Wow, so you're just on a high most days then. There's no bringing you down. Good for you, Craig. We need to go shopping together more.
Yeah. I'll get you some good deals.
Nice. All right, another topic here that you're famous for, and this is kind of this is something that I came across on social media. Matt Centrowitz had this in his story, and I was scrolling through and I saw that you were driving a Ford Aerostar down the street. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and your hair was just blowing in the wind and stuff. So I found out that you've got kind of an affinity for the minivan.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, so let's get into this.
It's a home on wheels. Packed up, ready to go whenever.
I agree with you. Like, how did this passionate love affair with the minivan begin?
Let's see, it was my my junior year at Ole Miss. Mm-hmm. Right after NCAAs, I bought a minivan in Eugene, Oregon.
Uh-huh.
I like Ubered to this guy's house and just paid $750 cash and drove back to the hotel, and the whole Ole Miss staff was standing there like, what? What have you done? Did you steal this car? I'm like, no. Held up the title.
I got it.
They're still just as confused. Then they're just like, whatever. Because I was coming back 2 weeks later for the Olympic trials in Eugene as well. So I actually left the van with a teammate who had just graduated. He drove it around the whole 2 weeks, and I flew back in. And when the Olympic trials were done, me, 2 buddies, and my ex-girlfriend took the van down to Mississippi.
Yes.
Drove the $750 van, and along the way we had a blown radiator, rode across the Golden Gate Bridge with the doors open. That was pretty fun, but when I got back to Ole Miss, I sold it for $1,200.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope they're not watching right now.
Yeah, the person who bought it. Don't know if they'll be Tracklandia fans.
Not yet, at least. Yeah, yeah, we're getting there a little bit. Ole Miss, you obviously had a great year in 2016 because that's where you were 4th in the 800, then 5th in the 1500, and you were the talk of the town because you walked out on the track with your mullet and your mustache, and it's like, who's this guy just silky smooth sliding around the track looking like a NASCAR driver or something?
Good old days,
yeah. Where did that come from? Like, what about Ole Miss got you to that point to be able to do those things?
I think we just took a hashtag too far. We used to hashtag on all of our photos, get that contract. Hashtag get that contract, because we were all trying to get contracts out of college. And we would all just like do something weirder and then post a photo of it, and it just got to an extreme, and then it worked out because a stupid haircut and mustache got me a contract.
Yeah, it definitely did. Well, and your abilities. All right. Well, now, because you are so famous for your appearance, with your mullet and your facial hair, as seen in this picture, we're gonna play a little game.
Okay. So, because Craig, we know you have wonderful hair and physique, and Jeff is Jeff. We're going to go ahead and give you a task. We're going to give you, let's say, 90 seconds to create whatever you would like out of these two wigs.
90 seconds is a lot of time.
Oh, yeah.
Do we have scissors?
So that brings me to the next bit. I'm going to give you each a comb and a pair of scissors. You got 90 seconds. You got to make these hair look as whatever you'd like, okay?
I can't remember the last time I've held a comb.
Oh, man. Well, then, you got your shaper. Your hair putty stuff. You got plenty of ties and whatnot.
Okay.
And you got things that bend and look shiny. So
I think we need to get ready here.
You guys ready? Set, go.
Yeah. Let's cut this thing. Oh my goodness. This was like, did you put this thing in the oven or something?
You're just wasting your time.
I don't even know how this is supposed to look.
Look at Craig going right into it. He knows what he's doing over here. He's clearly a pro. Jeff, you gotta pick it up, man.
You're not a man for the bangs, are you?
This is some fine hair.
20 seconds down, guys.
I kind of think she looks good already. I don't know. What do you do? I'm kind of lost.
Jeff's struggling hard to make decisions right now.
I might
Craig
just
is just going head first into this.
I think there's something.
Jeff with the single finger approach.
I'm just going
very
like.
delicate, very delicate.
I know with my hair in particular.
40 seconds in now there, Jeff. You might want to make some moves.
Well, with my hair in particular, it gets real frizzy at the top, so I want to help her out with this thing.
Bold choice. Bold choice.
What are you doing? Oh, Craig, come on.
50 seconds.
You got to get
guys.
working too.
I was gonna go with the bowl cut, but
I'm just gonna. I don't want to touch this back part. I don't know. Is this layered already? Is that what that is?
Jeff's done zero work.
It seems a lot longer on this side than that
Craig's
side.
making some good hard effort over here.
I'm just gonna cut this back one. I need to like get some leverage here. Oh, hey, hold that down. Does this count as team? Like, am I gonna get disqualified?
We might push this to 2 minutes.
Yeah. I think we need some extra time.
You gave us dull scissors, bro. This isn't working out.
Only yours.
Oh, seriously? Oh.
Pierre getting a really good looking makeover. Monica's struggling here.
I'm gonna cut my fingers.
Not getting any tip on this haircut.
Let's get it with the scrunchie.
I smelled your Axe hair gel.
Yeah, I might need to use that. Look at her. She's got hair in her eyes. Look at her. She can't even see anything, huh? Is that better? Oh my goodness. Here, we need a clip or something. This is what it's like to have a daughter, huh?
Give her some layers over here.
Oh, dear.
Oh, Craig going with the comb and cut. That's a good classic barber.
Oh, it snaps
barber
that
salon
way.
move.
Scissors are not too hot here.
Oh, your scissors too, huh? Let's see. Do people do like a double scrunchie? Is that a thing?
I've heard of that being a thing, yes.
Yeah, any girl who is getting dressed up for a night out at the club, just know that this is like, I don't even know what you do.
Jeez.
So, I'm going to give you guys 30 more seconds.
So you could do that and I wouldn't know the difference.
Jeff, and bold moves here.
I'm just trying to get the hair out of her eyes. Is the time up yet?
15.
Ah, crap. All right.
Ooh, final 10.
Let's get these guys in the back. Oh! Let's get you down here. Maybe we just need
a professional face on right now.
Get that on there.
And 3.
Let's just go with what we know.
1. All right. Let's give it up for our competitors. You know, okay.
Hey, yours looks nice.
Yeah. Okay.
I would date her.
All right. Let's let's let the audience decide on this one, okay, guys? Because I think clearly we got two good-looking Monica and Pierres. So, guys, let's by round of applause. How much like Monica? And Pierre? Yeah! Oh, come on. Yeah, I think we got a clear winner here. I think that's going to be Craig. Craig Engels, thanks so much for coming on our show. You can take any of these hair products home with you. Ladies and gentlemen, Craig Engels.
Craig Engels.
Haircut's my girlfriend.
I got a sticky hand right now. Put her there. Yeah. All right, everybody. So that's our show for tonight. Thank you all for coming out. Thank you to Downstream for hosting. Thank you to Stormbreaker. Thank you to Great Notion. Thank you to Bridgeport. Also, thank you to Voodoo Donuts for bringing the donuts for everybody. Thank you to everybody who's been with us from the beginning, because it's been a long, long time now. This is our second episode. But we hope to see you all for the next one, and we'll be right back here. Remember, if you've got nowhere to run now, baby, Tracklandia is alive and well, so come on out.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right.